the Ravens, the Steelers. They're fine. These all been great franchises over the course of this past generation. They've all been like Baltimore, Pittsburgh have done their thing. But the Eagles have been like beyond, like the Eagles have been like beyond consistent, to say the least. And they've done it the right way as far as being dominant at the point of attack with the offensive line and defensive line, and that philosophy hasn't changed over the course of. Andy Reid started that, right? He started that. People used to get on Andy Reid about not having receivers because he believed in the point of attack, like building with the offensive line and the defensive line. So I guess I just don't quite understand how this run has kind of got dismissed, considering that you're in a major market. It's not like they're playing Tibet. What are your thoughts on this run? Like, and we watched it up close and personal, like for 4 years at Temple. Straight AFC Championship appearances. Like, that's.
Yep. I think it's a lot of different factors, right? Like, one is when they had the quarterback. So if we're talking about the Eagles. So when they had the quarterback, the quarterback wasn't very likable, and he wasn't even remotely the best at his position at that time, right? So
right.
So
there's a lot of commercials. There, a lot of commercials.
Sure. But it wasn't likable. And as a national, no, John McNabb was not that dude. And so they kind of flew under the radar there and never actually win the Super Bowl during that time. When they actually do win the Super Bowl, again, they win it with an underwhelming quarterback. Who then goes on to do nothing else, right? Like the Carson's coming, it just like nothing else physically happens. The third thing is exactly to your point. What you said is how they build their team and how they actually do get to this point and win a championship is not the sexy thing. So this, I truly believe if they win this one, that what you're saying will really, really start getting talked about, because you're 100% accurate, 100% right. But because of those factors, the way that they do win is not the sexy way. And either when they had their quarterback wasn't the national quarterback. That was Brady, that was Manning, that was Breeze, that was all of them during that time. So there was no way to break through there, and they didn't win a Super Bowl with him. So he couldn't even break through in the national talk. And then when they did win a Super Bowl, it was with a very underwhelming quarterback to kind of like to that thing. So yeah, they're very slept on. Very slept on.
Yeah,
I mean, look, win Super Bowls or get talked about. Which one is it?
Right.
Only a few teams can do both. I mean, you win a Super Bowl, you get talked about, but even if you win it underwhelmingly, it's the fact that you got those championships, and they have a real chance of getting number 2.
Oh,
I think they'll take that every day.
Yeah,
over just the national conversation.
Right. No, here's the thing. You would take the consistency all day. Period. Like, you just, like, they've been consistent. Like, there's just no two ways about it. And they've bounced back from a couple of stretches that were rough in terms of, and they haven't had any long losing stretches, like 4 or 5 years. The most they've had was anywhere from 2 to 3 years. Had a rough patch. We remember the Chip Kelly and what transpired with that.